Remember when Christmas meant frost on the inside of your bedroom window, when the fire crackled in the sitting room, and the smell of roast chestnuts and pine needles filled the air? When excitement built for weeks, not from adverts or algorithms, but from the slow arrival of the season itself. Back then, Christmas wasn't about extravagance. It was about ritual, about the same decorations coming down from the loft every year, the same old games, and the same feeling of wonder, no matter how small the gifts. The 1960s were a golden age for childhood Christmases in Britain. Simple, cozy, and full of heart. A time when the world seemed to slow down, and magic didn't come from a screen, but from imagination. Today, we're stepping back into that world to revisit 10 things every British kid did at Christmas in the 60s that have now vanished forever. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Britain Rewind, keeping the spirit of old Britain alive. Number 10. Writing letters to Father Christmas. Before emails and digital wish lists, children sat at the kitchen table with a pencil and ruled paper, carefully spelling out their dreams for Father Christmas. The ritual was almost sacred. Some wrote their letters days before Advent began. Others waited until the school holidays. They'd fold them neatly, slip them into an envelope addressed simply to the North Pole, or, for the more imaginative, toss them into the open fireplace, watching the smoke curl upward, believing it carried their words to Santa himself. Parents played along beautifully, pretending to check the chimney or the postbox, smiling quietly at the innocence of it all. Today, children tap their wishes into tablets, add to digital carts, and track deliveries in real time. But back then, it wasn't about getting everything you wanted. It was about believing you might. A little hope wrapped in pencil and paper. That was enough. Number 9. The Woolworths toy aisles. Imagine walking through Woolworths in December. The smell of pick and mix, the sound of Bing Crosby from the tinny speakers overhead, and rows upon rows of toys that seemed to stretch forever. There was something magical about that place. Wooden shelves stacked with Action Man figures, Corgi cars, Meccano sets, and Cindy dolls. You could spend hours just looking, pressing your face to the glass cabinet that held the toys you couldn't quite afford but still adored. For many families, Woolies was the Christmas shop. Pocket money saved all year went into choosing one perfect gift. And even if the toy wasn't yours, it was enough to see it there, to imagine. Today, shopping happens through a screen. Endless choice, but no wonder. Woolworths is gone, its aisles silent now. But in the memories of a generation, those aisles still glow, filled with the hum of childhood Christmases long past. Number 8. The school nativity play. Every December, classrooms transformed into theatres. Tea towels became shepherds' headpieces, cardboard stars dangled from strings, and a rickety stage appeared at the end of the hall. The school nativity was a cornerstone of British childhood, not for its performance quality, but for its charm. Parents crowded the benches, clutching cameras and handkerchiefs, as their little ones recited lines in trembling voices. The smell of tinsel and tempera paint filled the air. Everyone had a role. The loud kid became a king, the shy one an angel, and somehow, despite forgotten lines and squeaky microphones, it was perfect. Today's Christmas assemblies might have digital screens and professional sound, but they've lost that handmade heart. The 60s nativity wasn't about performance, it was about belonging. A small, flickering memory of community, of laughter, and of innocence, before the curtain closed and the magic quietly lingered in every parent's heart. Number 7. Decorating the tree. The Christmas tree was never a designer statement. It was a patchwork of memory. Brittle glass baubles passed down from grandparents, handmade paper chains, tinsel thick enough to hide the branches. In most homes, the tree arrived late, often just a few days before Christmas. Dad would wrestle it into a metal stand, needles scattering across the carpet, while Mum tested the lights, untangling wires like a puzzle of patience. And when the switch finally flicked on, the room transformed. Colored bulbs shimmered. The smell of pine mixed with coal smoke, And for that moment, everything felt complete. There were no perfectly themed decorations, no minimalist style, just warmth, imperfect glowing warmth. Today, trees are assembled in November, color-coordinated, pre-lit, and posted on Instagram. But those old 60s trees, uneven, alive, and covered in love, had something modern ones don't. They weren't decorations. They were memories made visible. Number 6. Watching the Christmas specials. Christmas television in the 60s was an event. There were only a handful of channels, and that made every program special. Children gathered cross-legged in front of the telly, plates of mince pies beside them, waiting for the Morecambe and Wise Show, Blue Peter's Christmas Appeal, or a rare festive cartoon. The schedule wasn't about binge-watching, it was about anticipation. If you missed it, you missed it. That made it precious. Families would share the sofa, laughter echoing through the room, dad trying not to doze off, mum knitting quietly at the side. Today, streaming offers endless choice, yet somehow less magic. We scroll, we skip, we half-watch. Back then, television was communal. It brought people together for an hour or two of simple joy. And when the test card returned after midnight, the silence felt almost holy. Number 5. The post office rush. Few scenes captured the spirit of 60s Christmas like the post office in December. Queues snaked out the door, people clutching parcels wrapped in brown paper and string, postage stamps licked and stuck, the air smelling faintly of ink and wet wool. Children tagged along, holding Christmas cards for relatives near and far. Cards mattered then, handwritten, heartfelt, signed with love. The mantelpiece would soon be lined with them, each one a small sign that someone remembered you. The postal rush was part of the season's rhythm. It wasn't efficient, but it was human. Now greetings are pixels, and Merry Christmas is a text bubble. The art of sitting down with a pen and remembering someone is fading fast. But for those who lived it, the sound of the letterbox on Christmas Eve still echoes softly, the gentle proof that somewhere someone cared enough to write. Number 4. The annual selection box. For a 60s child, few things said Christmas like a selection box. A cardboard treasure chest of chocolate bars, Mars, Crunchy, Dairy Milk, Flake, each perfectly arranged and impossible to resist. They weren't extravagant, but to unwrap one on Christmas morning felt like finding gold. Every sweet had its order. One for breakfast, quietly, one after dinner, and maybe another before bed when nobody was looking. Selection boxes were a child's first taste of freedom. A whole stash of treats that belonged only to you. Today, confectionery aisles overflow with bigger, flashier versions, yet they rarely carry that same thrill. Because in the 60s, it wasn't about the chocolate, it was about the ceremony, the excitement of saving, savoring, and stretching it out for days. That small box of joy still lingers in memory, sweet proof that happiness once came wrapped in cardboard and silver foil. Number 3. Carol singing and knock-door cheer. As December nights grew long and cold, groups of children wrapped in scarves and mittens would head out into the frosty streets, lanterns flickering. Carol singing wasn't organized, it just happened. Silent night. Good King Wenceslas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, sung shyly at first, then louder when the door opened, and a smiling face appeared with a few coins or a chocolate treat. It was innocent, unpolished, and utterly heartwarming. Neighbors knew one another. Streets were safe enough for children to wander, voices echoing beneath orange street lamps. Today, few would let their children roam the dark to sing for strangers. The spontaneity is gone, replaced by scheduled concerts and charity events. But those old evenings of song, breath turning to steam in the cold, carried a simple message. Christmas was about sharing warmth, one doorstep at a time. Number 2. The Christmas stocking and tangerine tradition. Before branded merchandise filled stockings, there were simpler treasures. An apple, a tangerine, a few chocolate coins, maybe a small toy or two. Children would hang their woolen stockings, sometimes an old football sock, at the end of the bed, barely sleeping through the night, waiting for the faint jingle of Father Christmas. By morning, The smell of citrus filled the room, mingling with excitement. The tangerine was symbolic, a bright splash of colour in the grey British winter, a reminder of far-off sunshine and the luxury of something rare. Today, stockings burst with gadgets and gift cards, but ask anyone who grew up in the 60s and they'll tell you that single tangerine tasted like magic, because it wasn't about value, it was about meaning, a promise that someone, somewhere had thought of you. Number 1. The family board games and after-dinner chaos. After the plates were cleared and the Queen's speech had played, it was time for the real tradition. Games. Out came Monopoly, Cluedo, Ludo, or Snakes and Ladders. The table became a battlefield of laughter, teasing, and minor squabbles. Someone always cheated, someone always stormed off, and everyone laughed about it later. The radio hummed softly in the background, and the fire crackled. There were no phones, no distractions, just the family, present and together. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Those evenings built bonds that lasted long after the decorations came down. Today, families sit in the same room but live in different worlds, screens glowing in silence. But for a generation, those noisy, messy game nights were the heart of Christmas. Proof that joy didn't need perfection, only people. Christmas in the 1960s was never about how much you spent. It was about how much you felt. It was the sound of laughter echoing down terraced streets, the smell of pine, coal and gravy, the glow of fairy lights reflected in tinsel and teacups. Those traditions, small, handmade, heartfelt, shaped a generation who found joy in enough. Today, much has changed. The world is faster, brighter, noisier, but somewhere beneath it all, the same longing remains. For warmth, for wonder, for the kind of Christmas that touched the soul, not just the wallet. Because what made those days special wasn't the presents, it was presence. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the past, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more forgotten stories of British life, only on Britain Rewind, where memories never fade, they just grow softer with time.